Good evening and welcome to the Monday, February 9th Maplewood City Council meeting. Council members, I wanted to give you and our community a little bit of an update about some of the things that I talked about at our last council meeting. We did hold the Faith Community Leadership meeting here in City Hall, and I have to say that we had a great turnout. I want to say it was either 23 or 24 representatives from our very diverse faith community. And I have to say it was a really powerful meeting. It was wonderful to see our faith leaders talking to each other about how the things that they're doing at their places of worship to support the community. And I think it was a great opportunity for our public safety officers to talk about public safety and what their role is, what their limitations are. And I have to say that I left that meeting and I found it to be, it was very hope-filled. And so I just want to share that with you. I think staff would say the same thing. It was a very impactful meeting, and certainly they represent a number of not only residents of Maplewood, but also from the greater regional area. We have joined a coalition that was launched with cities. So much of what's been going on recently has been focused on Minneapolis and St. Paul. But nevertheless, there is a real impact on suburban cities as well. And this coalition started off, I think, through discussions of city managers and then expanded to include mayors. And I think we were in the first group. Most of them are Hennepin County cities, and I think we were actually the only Ramsey County city. That number is growing. I think it's over 20 now, and there are additional cities that are going to be joining. I was at my Regional Council of Mayors meeting today, and we talked about it, and many are interested in this coalition, that this is a way for cities to advocate together. It's one thing for one city to have a voice, but it's very different when you have many cities weighing in, because what's happening at the state and federal level is impacting us. It's impacting our safety, our public safety officers. It's impacting our businesses. It's impacting community trust in government. And so this coalition is going to be working together to really give voice to the impact of what's going on a state and federal level and the impact that it's having on local government. And so I am very encouraged about it. I had a lot of mayors talking to me at the Regional Council of Mayors today about this coalition. And I think we're going to see this grow very, very quickly. And I think we will have a unified voice representing our residents, our businesses, so that our voices can be heard in this mix. So that, I think, is really a wonderful thing that has kind of come out of this. We are also having, as you recall from our council meeting last time, we are having a community conversation tomorrow at our community center. Mr. Sable, I'm going to ask you to weigh in on that since you are going to be our facilitator. It's been noticed that council members may be in attendance. This is not a council meeting. Council members are not going to be speaking. We are there as residents of the community, but this is an opportunity for our community to come together and have a conversation about what's going on with our state and federal government and immigration enforcement. Mr. Sable?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor and council members. As the mayor said, so tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the community center, there's going to be a community conversation around the challenges related around federal immigration enforcement in Maplewood. It is intended to be slightly more informal, so there will be kind of round tables. It's not a microphone at a podium for people to shout and yell. It's actually an opportunity for people who feel comfortable to come and to share their experience, to share what they're seeing, to share also then potentially some of the things that they can do to sort of turn the tide, to strengthen community connections, to support people who are potentially impacted negatively. As I shared in the conversation a couple of weeks ago, I do not expect a large contingent of people who might be personally impacted. I think the level of fear in the community is still high in a lot of places, but I think any time that you can have a gathering spot, and the city of Maplewood is the one of those things that can unite lots of different people. We all share a common address, and I think there's value in gathering as a community. The questions are not intended to be complicated. They're really just a space for people to share what their experience is and what they can do to move forward. We do know that we've heard reports in the media and other places that it is the federal government's intention is to draw down the law enforcement presence related to immigration enforcement over the next several weeks. That's small comfort if it's this week, but if there is a trend moving towards less active enforcement and more targeted enforcement, I think that is something that we look forward to seeing in this community, because we do experience it every day, and the impacts. And so our officers and our public safety responders are out, not in supporting of immigration, but in actually picking up if there was an incident, or providing some comfort to people who are potentially impacted. So this is, I will say, a challenging time for cities around the region, and that's why this coalition to kind of unite around common challenges, particularly around, I'm more emphasizing sort of what's coming next as we deal with economic destabilization. What is our role potentially at the legislature in getting more resources, and what is a way that we can have a broader voice in the region? Because I think we are disproportionately impacted when you look at all of the other suburban communities around us. I think we've seen more, and therefore ought to get more relief if that's possible. So look forward to having a conversation tomorrow, but know that these conversations probably go on for many months, if not years, into the future.
Mr. Sable, what kind of opportunities will there be for someone who may want to participate in the community conversation, but they can't make it tomorrow night, or they do not feel comfortable leaving their homes?
I will say, so thank you, Mayor, for the question. So in the moment, it will be challenging to connect people live and in person with a meeting room style. So we will make available an online portal for people to provide comments and feedback to the questions that we ask. Unfortunately, it will have to be after the fact. We just don't have the technological capabilities to run a live feed remotely into a room. It's too logistically challenging, but we'll make opportunities available for people to provide comment and feedback and be part of the conversation virtually as we can.
Thank you for staff for helping set that up. Council members, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there tomorrow night if you can make it. With that, we are now going to shift into our business, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. City Clerk Sint, would you do our roll call, please?
Councilmember Lee.
Present.
Councilmember Villavicencio.
Here.
Councilmember Cave.
Here.
Councilmember Juniman.
Here.
Mayor Abrams.
I'm here as well, thank you. Council members, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Cave, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve the agenda. Is there any further discussion? Councilmember Juniman.
Under council presentations, April 25th.
Maplewood cleanup, the 25th, did you say? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have the approval of our minutes. First, from the January 26th City Council Workshop minutes. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve our January 26th, 2026 City Council Workshop minutes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have our January 26, 2026 City Council meeting minutes. Would someone like to make that motion?
I move approval.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Cave, the motion to approve our January 26, 2026 City Council meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we go down to our administrative presentations. The council calendar update. Mr. Sable.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. Just a couple of items to forecast for work session and council agenda. So we're going to have a conversation around street improvement assessment rates. There's no action taken. It's more of a long-term math problem that we want to lay out for that. And also then there's going to be a presentation on the Battle Creek St. Croix River Regional Trail Long-Range Plan. There's a pretty sizable plan that's coming forward that we'll want to talk about. And we'll talk about climate mitigation plan at our second meeting in March, and it is also going to be when we talk about the Bronze Line locally preferred alternative vote will be the second meeting in March. Just a couple of things. We talked earlier about the community conversation tomorrow. I encourage everybody to show up and attend. And then also I want to forecast that the legislature convenes in its meeting next week. We have drafted bills for all of the things that we are asking for from the legislature. We are still trying to coordinate a legislative meeting with our delegation. The timeline is getting tight, but I'm still optimistic that we will be able to pull that off. And then just forecast that the March issue of the Maplewood Living will be the first time we're going to a 12-page issue, focusing around housing and then the sort of, I hate to say it, but spring-like activities. So with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Sable? Okay, moving on. Council presentations. Councilmember Juniman.
Proof that spring is coming. We have a date for our spring cleanup, Saturday, April 25th from 8 to 1 at Aldrich Arena. There will be more to come in the Maplewood Living. But it's never too early to start looking at what you're going to get rid of.
Excellent. Thank you. Moving on to our consent agenda, we have 3 items. Would someone like to make a motion?
Motion to approve G1 through 3.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Cave. The motion to approve consent agenda items G1 through 3. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. We have no public hearings or unfinished business. We have some new business tonight, a conditional use permit, and that is yours, Ms. Parr.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. This evening, Unison and Banquet Restaurant LLC is here to request an amendment to their conditional use permit. You are very familiar with this building, I know. This is a commercial building. It was approved in 2018. It's on White Bear Avenue, and it's got North St. Paul Road kind of adjacent to it, as you can see on the overhead. It's outlined in red there. It was approved, as I said, in 2018. It contains multiple uses, a restaurant, bar, banquet hall, gym, and offices. At the time it first came through, we considered it a community center in terms of zoning due to the event center type uses. They're asking to amend that, and so we'll chat a little bit about what that means this evening. Largely, it's hours is what's related to it. As part of the CUB process in 2018, the applicant proposed the hours of closing at 11 p.m. on Sunday through Thursday and 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday. There were a number of conditions the council included, those hours being the most significant of them. Unison is proposing that the CUP be amended to allow the closing hours to be 12 a.m. on Sunday through Thursday and 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Restaurants are permitted here, and that is, in this particular zoning district, restaurants are permitted by right. It's important to note that if this were a restaurant alone, a restaurant and bar, they wouldn't need a conditional use permit. So we would look at maybe a little bit differently today. Public Safety has reviewed this request and compared it to like establishments. There were 74 calls for service in 3 years. When we look and compare to similar businesses, when we say they were not an outlier, they are less in regards to calls, but knowing they have less hours, we take that into consideration as well. So we would say they're not an outlier, and we're looking at it from the perspective of they are open for fewer hours. So we kind of take that into consideration in all fairness. Public safety, the director of public safety as well as the staff have no concerns in regards to this request. Unison also employs off-duty deputies on the weekends, and they continue to do so in the future. A public hearing was held. 50 surrounding properties within 500 feet were notified. We had one letter that was received from a resident that was in the staff report. The Planning Commission held a public hearing. They recommended approval. At that public hearing, there were 4 residents who spoke, 3 who had concerns. We believe that we addressed those concerns to the extent that you saw in the conditions, and that was largely landscaping and those kinds of things. And then they had one that was in support of this request. Tonight's motion, we recommend a motion to approve the conditional use permit amendment resolution to permit the sports bar, the restaurant, and the banquet hall to operate until 12 a.m. on the weeknights and 2 a.m. on weekends. I will also just mention, I think it was a year ago, the mayor and I were out doing a meet and greet with the ownership and talked a little bit about their times and about how things function there, and got a tour and had just a meet and greet, and learned about the challenge of this closing time. We found that largely paid events, so obviously it's a sport, has a sports type feel to it. A lot of people pay to see specific things come on, and they don't always end specifically when the bar closes. And so that's a point of disappointment for patrons. And then there's also this belief and an understanding that a lot of those patrons just go down the street to somewhere else until closing time at 2 a.m. somewhere else, and that may not be within Maplewood. So those are other things we kind of took into consideration as well as a part of this. With that, we have the applicants here to answer any questions you might have, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have as well.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for, let's start with Danette. Any specific questions for Danette?
Just had a general comment really quick.
Okay, we're going to do general comments in a moment. I just
that's
want
fine.
questions for Danette. Any questions for Danette? Okay. I see the owners are here. Mr. Mouat, do you want to join us and see if anyone has any question? Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
This is my wife, Kalia. My name is Tuyir Mua. Some of you, I think the journey was about 8 years ago we started, and it was, you guys all still look really young. So when I look in the mirror, I see I'm graying out, but you guys all still look great. So, yeah. So
I think you look the same.
Yeah, but we've had an awesome 8-year partnership with the city of Maplewood. I think that we've been all ears, and we understand that at the beginning there were many concerns, and we never wanted to be a part of a nuisance to the city. And I think we've always just listened to you guys and try our best to align ourselves with how the city of Maplewood and all its residents would want our business to be like. And so, we're asking for this amendment mainly to pretty much just sustain ourselves and stay in business and be a part of the city of Maplewood. Yeah.
Thank you. I do recall 8 years ago when you came, and I recall, council members, for a little background, I think Councilmember Juniman remembers this as well. There were some concerns in the community about because your business plan was very different, and I think that there was some uncertainty. And so that was why the council at that time, and you agreed to go with limited hours. And since then, you have become just a real asset in our community, and we certainly are grateful that you are there. I appreciate that public safety, there isn't an issue, and I really see the issue of competitiveness, and we want you to succeed in our city. So thank you very much for bringing this forward. I think it's very timely, and the fact that there was, I think, one comment in our in our materials, it speaks well as to how you have managed your property and managed your event center. So, and besides, your food is great.
Thank you.
So, Councilmember Lee, you're next.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted for full transparency, I will be conducting business with Unison in the months to come, so I'm just going to sustain and recuse myself from conversation and also voting. Just want to throw that out there.
Councilmember Villavicencio.
I just want to thank the owners and everyone at Unison for being a part of Maplewood and being in Maplewood. It means a lot to me. I've been to a number of your events, and you're always so welcoming. And I always bring people from out of town to Unison, and everybody I've ever brought there has a good time.
Awesome.
So it's for everybody, and I just am so thankful you're in Maplewood, and so continue to do the good work you do.
Thank you. Will do.
Councilmembers, any questions? Then we have a motion before us. Would someone like to make that motion?
I motion to approve the conditional use permit amendment resolution to permit the sports bar, restaurant, and banquet hall located at 1800 Wiper Avenue North to operate until 12 a.m. on weeknights and 2 a.m. on weekends.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Cave, seconded by Councilmember Villavicencio. The motion is written in our packets. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
Thank
One
you.
abstain, one abstention. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There you go. And council members, we have no other items on our agenda tonight, and we will call this a very early meeting. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.